I'm gonna show you guys a little trick. It involves making a tool, but I gotta change this block heater. It's got no valves on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a tool I made up here and pull a vacuum on this. That'll keep the coolant from leaking out of here, hopefully. It's like sticking your finger over the end of a straw kind of thing. Except you pull a vacuum and you don't have to wait for the, you know, the gravity of the coolant, the force of gravity on the coolant to pull down and pull a vacuum. I can just pull it ahead of time and avoid all that. So I'll show you that in a sec. Alright, so here it is. It's all set up. I have to use the truck cap adapter. If you look at this, there's inches of mercury here. So I'm just gonna pull a little vacuum with this vacuum pump. All right, we got a little vacuum on there, so we're gonna try that and see what that gets us. I haven't done anything yet, so I'll show you in a second. All right, so we got a vacuum on there. You can see. I got this hose here. I'm gonna take this pinch off, and we're gonna see what we see. Hopefully nothing happens, but. Okay, like that. So we didn't really lose any of the vacuum, maybe a little. Right, so basically, that fluid's being held in there by the vacuum. So I'm gonna take, this side off now. I've had this before where we're not losing any vacuum. We want to keep our eye on that. We haven't lost any vacuum. There we go. So we're gonna lose the fluid that's in the hose. We're gonna lose, but we shouldn't be losing anything out of the engine. Hopefully not. I don't think we're losing anything here. Look at that. Very minimal leakage there. We are losing some though, unfortunately. Let's get quick with this. Well, that's it. I mean, I lost a little bit, but it was nothing compared to if I didn't do that. You know, with no valves here. It's just a drip. Easily manageable. With just a little bit of vacuum pulled on it. So yeah, there was just a little bit of leakage there. And then a very little here, minuscule. Nothing crazy. So yeah, that totally works. I'll show you the breakdown of how I made it and stuff in a second. It's pretty simple. Yeah. Awesome. Well, here it is basically. I just ordered this. This is a replacement part for a Stant pressure tester. And just put it into an 1/8 inch female to a 1/4 inch male bushing to a 1/4 inch T. I got a gauge that does inches of mercury to measure the vacuum. I put the ball valve. I'll explain the ball valve in a minute, and then basically it goes into this bleeder bottle. I only put this here in case I'm pulling too much vacuum. Like if I start getting fluid in here, then I know that I'm pulling too much vacuum, you know. So that'll at least let me stop before it makes its way into the actual vacuum pump. This just that just swings around and you just actuate it and it pulls a vacuum. When you want to release it, there's a little button here that you push and it'll release it. So, but yeah, that's the setup. I don't know, 27 bucks, 9 bucks. This is probably worth a good 10 bucks for this. The ball valve. I put the ball valve here just as a way to, once I pull the vacuum, I can close it and I can just hold everything from here back. So if there's any kind of you know, leaks or whatever from this, they're isolated. So, but I just used it without it and it worked fine. So maybe that was a little overkill. Maybe I'll delete it out of there because it is kind of like a pain in the ass. I just want to kind of minimize this as much as possible. We may even be able to get rid of this altogether in exchange for some, you know, just a long piece of clear tubing, you know. But what I found with what I just did there, so say if you remove like a long coolant hose that has a bunch of coolant in it, Well, when you take that out of the equation, you're going to lose a little bit of vacuum because that's less that it's pulling on, you know what I mean? So you take that from the equation, it's almost like taking a little weight off the scale, if you know what I'm saying. So the gauge will actually drop a little bit because it's not holding that coolant in anymore. So yeah. So yeah, I don't know, pretty happy with it. Worked pretty good. Like I said, it wasn't completely drip free, but definitely a lot better than having to drain the whole thing down or do it on the fly. That just makes a fucking total mess. So yeah, pretty happy with it altogether. Just in stuff, it probably realistically cost about $50 or $60, but you'll make your money back, and you know, time saved and aggravation and whatnot. So totally worth it as far as I'm concerned. Probably get rid of that. Yeah. Probably could get rid of this actually too. So just have this go directly into here. So maybe I'll do that. I'll try it next time. I'll see how it works.